Okay, I haven't posted in like 2 weeks. I didn't mean to disappear. I just been in kind of a weird funk, I think. Just a little unmotivated, a little in my head. I'm just processing a lot. So I figured I'd just sit here, crochet while I talk. I think it's fitting that the first thing I want to talk about is healing because I think that healing is one of the most romanticized things on the internet right now. People make it look peaceful, candles and journaling and soft music. But it doesn't feel like that for me. If anything, it feels confusing. Like emotions resurface when I'm pretty sure I've already worked through them. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait, why is this back? So I never even knew the term shadow work until about a year ago. A friend of mine said she was doing it using ChatGPT and how much it's been helping her. And when I sat down and started asking myself these questions, whew, there was a lot there. Old beliefs, old fears, patterns I thought were just part of my personality. It felt like opening a door inside myself and realizing there are entire rooms I've never walked into before. You know, lately I've been noticing my patterns more. Like I'll react to something and then immediately catch myself and think, why did I respond like that? Another thing I'm realizing is how much I absorb other people's emotions. If someone's off, I feel it immediately. And instead of letting them have their mood, I internalize it. I start adjusting, softening, over explaining, and trying to fix something that might not even be mine. And then I'm exhausted. And I used to think that it was just me being empathetic. But I'm starting to see that sometimes it's just me trying to stay safe, trying to keep everything smooth and trying to avoid conflict. I can literally feel it in my body and my nervous system. And I think I just got so used to staying quiet just to keep the peace. But I'm learning that protecting my energy and my peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. But I'll be real. Sometimes healing actually makes me more anxious because now I'm aware. So anytime I catch myself having the same old thought patterns or reacting the way I used to, there's a split second of panic. Like, wait, am I messing up my progress? Does this mean I'm not actually growing? Now, when I get triggered, I can't blame the other person. I have to sit with myself and ask, what is this actually about? And sometimes the answer isn't flattering. Sometimes it's insecurity, sometimes it's control, sometimes it's fear of abandonment. And that's humbling, I think. Another thing I didn't expect was healing changed my relationships. Not dramatically, and not always with big fights and endings. Sometimes nothing even happens in the surface. But internally, I notice things. I notice when I'm about to overgive or over-explain or ignore something small just because I don't want to make it a big deal. I notice when I'm shrinking just to keep things smooth. And once I see it, I can't unsee it. Not because anyone did something wrong, but because I'm not comfortable operating the way I used to now. And that's confusing because growth without a villain kind of feels harder to justify thing. And sometimes the people I love only fit the version of me that tolerated a lot more than I do now. And there's grief in that. Grief for the older version of myself, the version that survived by being agreeable, the version that thought intensity meant connection, the version that overfunctioned to feel secure. She was just doing her best, you know? And letting her go doesn't always feel empowering. Sometimes it just feels sad. And healing isn't linear. Some days I'll feel grounded and clear, and other days something small will hit a nerve, and then I'll spiral internally and sit there thinking, shouldn't I be past this? But maybe healing isn't about being past things. Maybe it's about recovering faster, choosing to react softer, or choosing one small thing differently than I did before. One thing that's been helping me though is changing my perspective. I'm choosing to see things either as a blessing or a lesson. Like, what if things aren't happening to me, but happening for me? And that shift alone changes how I handle things. Instead of asking, why is this happening? I started asking, what is this trying to teach me? I don't think healing is about becoming somebody new. I think it's about choosing yourself over and over again, becoming more honest and more aware, more responsible for your own patterns, even when it's uncomfortable, you know. And I think that's why I've been quiet these last 2 weeks. Not because I don't care, but because I think I'm just recalibrating. I don't want to create from pressure anymore. I don't want to show up just to prove I'm consistent. I want to show up when it's real. And right now, this is real. Me crocheting and thinking out loud, still learning, still catching myself, and still rewiring things I didn't even know was there. But I'm not broken. I'm just unlearning, and that takes time. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'd like to ask, what is something you noticed about yourself lately that you can't unsee? Just finished making my donut dish scrubby. I'll be teaching a scrubby workshop next week, so I was just working on a pattern for it today. So thank you for listening in, and hope to see you in the next video. Till then, be kind to yourself and take care.